Oh, we back. Oh, we back. AEZ is back and in the building. I'm going to say hi to the fellas. And we're going to hit it with a little return of the tank. Oh, my God. Return of the tank.
What's going on, boys? Missed you guys. Been a bit. Let's get down to it.
Yes, sir. Matt, always a pleasure.
What's going on, guys? Good to be here. Good to see you again.
And for the first time, live and in color, coming through your YouTube channels, it's Justin.
Let's go Blue Jays.
Oh, watch your mouth.
That's okay. I'll accept that one.
So, it's been a mighty fine week of a lot of Canadian talk. Before we jump all over the board with the AEW stuff, we got to talk to the obvious elephant in the room. Edge. So much has been hitting our Facebooks, our Twitters. We don't know what's happening. Supposedly his last match through WWE doesn't really say if it's a retire. What do you guys think? What's going on here?
I don't think it was. I thought it was a great match. Really excited. The crowd was awesome. Huge crowd in Toronto. I love the full shot of the arena. I love the paying the respect to his favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, with the blue and white. And I saw the nice little belt they gave him as a prize. But hey, but you know what I mean? Hey, if he was from Edmonton and wore Edmonton colors, you'd appreciate that. Right?
I did. I got that Bret Hart Oilers jersey picture.
Oh yeah. No, it's good. In terms of, do I think he's retiring? No, you know, that would be a great match to go out on on a high, because it was such a great match, and you know, a lot of good spots, good crowd. But I think they're going to let him retire at a big event. Like, let him kind of go out, and it's going to be on a pay-per-view, and that could be his swan song. I love what they did for the Toronto. That was great. Like, Tank, you were saying there, kind of maybe by the time they get back around the Toronto, it's not going to line up. So I thought that was a good way to pay the tribute. And I liked how they have it. They had a big event saying it's the 25th anniversary, right? So it's almost so that kind of took the place of saying a retirement match for me, which I think that's what they're doing. I think they're going to wait a little bit, because he's got some gas in the tank there. I think he's got a couple more to go.
Yeah, he definitely does. As we continue, we'll stop for a second and say hello to the beautiful Breezes. He has entered the chat.
Guns up, boys.
What's going on, Breezy?
What's up, boys? Good to be back. Sorry I missed last week.
Nice shirt.
Good. All good. Welcome. Right now, we're talking about the old Edgester, Ron Hutchinson's favorite wrestler. You know what I mean? I want to say, like, if he's out of contract, I don't know what's actual fact, because I've heard both, that the match was the end of contract. Then I also saw that there was a possibility that injury time added time to him. But nothing's been actually confirmed or real, and even when it is, if it's Meltzer, we can't really believe much. But if he were to show up at Wembley, that crowd would go nuts. One match. That's all I want.
So does he go heel and go in to help Christian?
It won't
really explode the roof right off the place?
Oh my God.
I don't like. I keep thinking about this. Edge walking out and going with Christian and the dinosaur, and Edge is just trying everything to be the asshole, but he's got such good, easy baby face right now. He walks in the room, the crowd don't care. We respect everything he's done. I just don't think it's a realistic. He can't.
So you think it sets up a feud with him and Christian to start?
No, get them together. Turn Christian right away. I don't care about what storyline they've been building.
Christian face.
Absolutely, immediately.
Wow, how would you do it in such a short amount of time?
I don't care.
Edge can't do Wembley. He can't. Like, I would love if he did, but even though that was the last match on his contract, his actual contract expires in September. So that doesn't work. And I guarantee Vince or Endeavor wouldn't let TK buy him out of it.
Yeah.
So you're saying it ends in September?
Yeah, like September 28th or September 30th, I believe. Something around there.
So wait, When is All Out? This is because I'm getting
September
confused.
3rd, isn't it?
Yeah.
September. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's coming up right the next one, the next
Yeah.
week.
It's literally bang bang.
And that's when was it Luchasaurus and Darby? Which I think if that was his last match, that was a good. I don't know if it is or not, but that was a good send off if it was.
No,
But
he
I
didn't
feel
leave. He didn't leave the boots. He didn't leave the boots in the.
But I
in the
feel like
ring.
he's going to end his career. He needs at least one more match with Christian. That's when he got like him and Christian started together. So
FTR and Christian.
I'm calling
that
it.
would be a good match. That'd be a good
I'm
match.
calling it. I'm calling it now. Edge versus John Cena in Philly.
Edge versus.
Insane.
Can we edit in Cena's theme music as soon as he says that? And
Loser retires or what?
They both retire.
Interesting.
And they don't put over somebody from the past?
Nope, they put over each other.
retire.
Oh, that's wild.
Hey,
It's a double count out. Nobody wins. They both retire at the count of 10.
Yeah.
Hey guys, has Edge ever fought Brock Lesnar?
I don't think so.
Because that would
It's
be
old
like,
rated R superstar. Do they miss?
right? I don't know.
If they did, it would have been like 2002.
yeah.
That's
It would have been
insane.
really early. Would have been really early.
Maybe on a European tour or like a house show, perhaps. But I don't think they ever did a TV program.
How would that be? How would that be for a pay-per-view Edge and Brock Lesnar?
That'd be badass. I'm all in.
I
Pun
actually
intended.
would like that.
Spear? Imagine like fucking Edge doing the spear on him. Like great. I think they could complement each other.
02.
Oh, they did fight? Yeah.
Yeah,
I called it a European tour.
Rebellion.
For the European Championship.
There was one Rebellion.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably 02 or 03.
There was a tag match. They were in Brock Lesnar and Tajiri versus Rey Mysterio and Edge.
Oh my god, I want to see this match.
Yeah. Tajiri and Lesnar. Wow.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's probably on a DVD somewhere, Drummond, or Uri already has it.
Yeah, I'm finding this. This is my new mission.
Yes. Yes, send it my way. You know what you didn't have to send my way? Fight for the Fallen. We're in AEW Dynamite. Pretty decent show. I mean, there's a lot going on throughout. This week really had a stench of we're getting ready for a big show. Feels like they're pushing the storylines really quick. We're eating a lot of it. I think it's building for something good. But they start the show off with freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta. Tank, what did you think of this one?
I think they're honestly relying on Orange too much for the opening match. Like there used to be, there's always the setup of something exciting at the beginning and something exciting at the end, whether it being the most important thing or the thing you're looking forward to the most. But it just feels like for the last number of weeks, every time the show starts, out comes Orange. And I love Orange. And I am complaining, but I'm not necessarily complaining because I do enjoy the man's work. I didn't know he was Fire Ant from Chikara.
Oh yeah.
That really Sorry, him and El Generico are working the orphanage
Yes.
down South America. But that really freaked me out to realize, to know, and like how many of those guys that are on the AEW roster were Chikara mainstays.
Yeah, you can
But
run
I
it. I
absolutely
mean,
love the Orange gimmick. Really fast. He was here in Toronto at a little community center. And I went by myself. I had nobody to go with, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I really wanted to see him. It was a couple weeks before All In, actually. No, after. And so I go to this community center, and I'm chilling outside, and I see these two guys, and they start walking in. And I figure, you know what? I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to fucking follow these guys in. Oh, my God, I swear again. Sorry. And we walk past the curtains, and I'm actually behind the hard cam. They were, like, filming it for, I think it was a Smash show, if I remember correctly. And so I didn't pay to get in. I walked in with the guys that were working the show, and nobody noticed that I wasn't like with them or whatever. So I'm just kind of standing around watching, and somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Hey, would you like a chair?" I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess. So they bring me out this folding chair, and I'm just kind of like sitting there and beside the hard cam, and all the dives were like coming towards us. That boy's got hops. I know I don't have to tell anybody this, but that kid can get in the air, boy.
So you heard that, Breezy, right?
Yeah.
Tanko's Sebastian. Tanko's Seb.
Was he talking about the old Franklin Warner?
Maybe, I don't remember. It just looked as an old community center. It looked like it might have been a elementary school at a point in time, and they
It
repurposed
feels
it.
like Frank Horner.
Feels like the Warner to me, boys.
That is sounding familiar. Tell your boy I owe him a couple bucks. I didn't try to sneak in. It was an accidental sneak in.
He's made enough money off of
But
our
that's
asses.
what
We'll
happened.
let you have it.
I wonder if Seb is watching this, Dusty.
Oh, don't, Seb. Sorry.
Hmm.
So all in all, yes, we gotta agree with you, Tank. I'm gonna agree that Orange Cassidy is getting overused in this exact same spot. Is he putting on a hell of a clinic every single time? Yes.
He really
Yes.
is.
Hmm.
I also think they're playing up the injuries on him, maybe to soften the landing for when he drops the belt, that they can be part of, oh, he had such a long run, his back, his crack, the wall, the window, all of that.
So the sweat drop down my yes, absolutely. I think he's broken, and I think they can drop the title at a moment's notice, and nobody would be upset. The guy is broken, and every
And he stays
single
protected.
person I feel picks something else to tear off of him.
You know what?
Peel him back like an orange.
The one thing I did like about this that he came in with intensity and started right off the bat. He didn't do the slow boat because he actually was like he was supposed to be pissed off. He's been beat up. He's been, you know what I mean. So I like how he came in there like fast and furious and just get things going, which is good. Just to kind of if he's gonna be on all the time, I like to see that intensity instead of the same old show. And I know it's great for the live audience and everyone gets into it, but it wears a little thin sometimes.
So then from there, we walk over to JR, looking like a stunned mule during this interview with Kenny. The guy deadpanned the whole damn thing. He's being attacked, and JR's like, barbecue sauce. I'm just going, what's happening here? What is happening? And then he gets attacked. All right. So now we see they're building the pay-per-view. But then we go into the ring with Don Callis for my favorite segment of the show.
This is because we've already talked a lot about this inside with that. What's going to happen?
The Wizard, the Ocho. He says yes.
Yeah.
And he wants to know what's under the curtain there. I want to see what you got for me. I love presents. Pulls it back, and it's got the head of Jericho. The look on his face, and he goes for his real cheese bar acting chops. I loved every minute of it. They start going back and forth, and then we get, what did we say, Matt? Will Ospreay, elevate. My God. It's funny. We get rumors of this match, and then we get Will in the ring with Jericho. Yeah. And I say, I don't care. I don't care about the storyline. Don't care about anything. You give me the two of them. They could sit in the middle of the ring and have a tea party. And I'm going to clap and applaud like it's the Road Warriors hitting the ring.
And I did say, I was actually first, I was like, oh my God, he's joining. I'm like, I guess I was wrong. And then the flip side happened. And then he says no. And then he comes and gets beat up. And I was like, remember I said, I'm like, maybe it was pretty obvious, but I was like, he's going to say no. They're going to come down. They're going to beat him up. And he's going to turn be face, which happened. So I think it's a great setup.
I'm bloody excited for this pay-per-view coming up just because of this. I don't care how it goes. I don't care if it's one of Jericho's worst matches. We all know Ospreay performs. From here, we can jump over to the fact that he just put on a 6-star. I mentioned that Naito and Ospreay match on G1 hit 6 stars on the Meltzer scale. I have a confusion about it because in one position, if it was a work when Will Ospreay hits Naito in the face and knocks him out, because I honestly thought Naito was knocked out the rest of the match and Will had to carry him. Now I'm starting to think that it might have been a complete work and Naito was fine. He just oversold to the point that he shouldn't have got the W. So I'm a little torn because I don't know what to believe, and I think that might be the most beautiful part of it because there's still some kayfabe in that match. But back to AEW.
Do you feel like this was executed as well as it could have been for the Jericho and Don Callis thing? Because I feel like it was all over the place.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
You liked the way that they executed this.
I liked the fact that they gave us a proper breakup, followed that with the whole tease of him joining, gave you a little hook in the cheek to follow what is happening. Seems all over the place. Sammy says, figure your shit out. I got your back. We know those two are good. Everybody else is going to go their way. Now he's going to go over to Callis. Nope. We swapped that. Now we get Ospreay. Why Ospreay? What does he have to do with Callis? The Kenny Omega Forbidden Door. It plays through other matches to make it make sense, yeah?
I mean, prior to Ospreay, the whole execution of Jericho and Don in the ring with him saying yes right away and Don already having the painting there because he thought Jericho was going to say no. You don't think that could have been executed way better? Because I do. I thought it was shit, to be honest.
Tell me about
How would you have done it, Breezy?
Oh, love it.
I mean, let's just come on, boys. So Jericho's gonna go for the next how many weeks saying that he wanted to lead a faction, not join a faction. This was the whole thing. So what episode did I miss where all of a sudden he was just okay with being a part of the Don Callis family?
Yeah.
That just completely, they ran right over that. And then Don was so, I guess, set on Jericho not even saying yes to him that he already had this painting constructed of him decapitating Jericho. But then when Jericho says yes, Don's like, okay, I guess, like, screw the painting. But then did Don already have it set for Will to attack Jericho because he thought he was going to say no the whole time? So the whole thing was just ass backwards, at least to me.
So I do have to bring something up because they did address why he would join. They did it over a period of a couple weeks. It was the whole getting back with the guy from my roots. He always had my back. We went back to Calgary, Bad News Brown, Bad News Allen, whatever you want to call him. So they've already established that.
But he would lead his own faction with Don. He wouldn't just join the Don Callis family.
Either way, I don't think it really mattered whether leading or being in it. If Jericho's in the faction, he would be top dog.
Yeah.
That was just assumed, no?
He would definitely be top
assumed.
dog. The whole thing of him just joining a faction because all of a sudden he didn't have the JAS anymore, it seemed to discredit what he had been preaching the previous weeks.
Yeah. Oh, he had to turn. He had to make a couple statements that were conflicting in order to be a true face at this point. Because, I mean, he really just went in, I'm a heel, I'm still going with it. And then a second later, he's like, wait, you're ripping my head off? I'm going face.
But I still think to know how Breezy would pull it off.
I'm happy with Jericho's done so many whip swaps that it was fine by me. It'll just be another spot I really enjoyed.
He could have just said no the whole time, and then just, he would have been that much more of a face, and then you have Will attack him. Why did he have to say yes and then see the stupid painting and then be like, oh, okay, well, because of this painting, now I don't want to be with you, and then you have Will. Like, you're going here. Why? What was
how many times in our histories has it been I'm not joining your crew, and then they attack, and then it's over. Then it's him versus them. That's happened a million times. Whereas, like, we had this happen with who else?
It was
Mox joining Jericho.
Yeah,
I was there for that. Every time Jericho joined something or leads something, I'm always there for it. Like I was there when Moxley joined the Inner Circle for a few minutes. Like, that was one of my favorite moments of 2020. No, it was 2020.
2020.
2020. That was one of my favorite moments I've been there live for.
My God, he was live.
Yeah, Jericho. He's I get both sides to it, I guess, because
Could you have given 4 more episodes of Build? Yes. Could you have done it more? I think they're on a gun to their head, get their matches together because we're going to the biggest show we've ever done. I think there's nerves on the table. I think there's anger about people not being booked. I think there's going to be, no matter what company it is, people going, hey, I don't want to make lemonade. I want to be on that card, right? So I think
I didn't need more weeks of it. Definitely didn't need more
you
weeks of it.
just
I just
wanted
think it
that
could have been
segment
executed
covered
better.
better.
The payoff.
So
Payoff
again, I
could
want to
be better.
ask Breezy, like, what is the way they should or could have played that would have been better for you?
Jericho never said yes the entire time. Why did he say yes to begin with? There's no point of saying yes if you're just going to have him not join. That was stupid.
It was just shock value. They tried to do shock value. That's all.
Swerve, bro.
It wasn't a swerve though because he was already just gonna join.
But
He
the
had the
swerve is
painting
in the
set
swerve.
there, and then the painting is why he didn't join. That's stupid. And then you had Will sitting there backstage, just like, okay, well, if Jericho doesn't see this painting, now I don't attack him, Don? Are you going to text me to not attack him? Like, what the
He
hell
would
was
have called
that?
it off. Come on. Jericho's a wizard and he's a magician. Don Callis is a magician. He would have clicked his fingers. Will would have got the message, walked away.
I like that we're getting Will and Jericho. I just
Yes.
think they could have got there better. And that whole execution of the finals, this whole final build was, can I say the F word?
No,
Connor, is that
not when
okay?
you're
It was
shitting on
fucking
Jericho.
stupid. All right. I'm done. I'm done with that.
Coming in with fire, breezy. Bring it down a bit. And it was a swerve.
No, man, keep it up. I love it. Keep bringing the fire.
Just like Swerve taking down Nick Wayne. Now we got the back to talking about Darby. He's going to be all over this show. So we go Darby and Nick Wayne. Before we go to that match, I do want to say Jack Perry popped up and said he's retiring the FTW championship. We know that's bullshit because someone's going to come. It's probably going to be Hook building for... I think Jack Perry and Hook make more sense at, say, Chicago, but I would be happy to see them in there. Like when we watch All In 10 years later, what will they be, you know?
No, I think it's important that these guys are fighting in front of the Wembley crowd. These guys are 2 staples of the company.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, these guys are the pillars. They're young. They're going to be there. There's the next level. They're building these guys. They have to showcase these guys. And they're kind of like they're kind of heartthrob guys, right? I think it's worth it that to put them in. There's a look. There's a feel to them. The crowd will be into it.
I almost agree about the Chicago thing, though. So I feel like that's more like the matches they have announced so far. It seems like it's the staple AEW guys, and I think Hook and Jack Perry kind of stand out more in Chicago than they're going to on this Wembley card.
Is Chicago sold out?
Last time I looked at 8,900. Like they're really close from breaking last year's attendance record.
Well, shit.
Really, really close.
I was
It's
going to
sold
say
out
you
for
could use that as a
WWE, I
seller.
believe. They're like months away still.
2 shows. Breezy, what did you think of the tag? Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan and Toa Leone versus Darby and Nick Wayne.
It was a good tag match. I love seeing Nick, getting his TV exposure, get the reps in, get more familiar with the AEW fan base. So I like the Gates of Agony are good too. They're racking up the wins on the Ring of Honor show. They're not looking too good every time they appear on AEW so far. So I don't know where you're going from there. You're going to take maybe the bigger guy and turn him singles because I notice whenever the Gates get beat, it's always what's the other guy's name?
Con!
Yeah, the big guy's not taking the pins, so maybe you're heating him up for a singles run. But I like the tag match.
Yeah, I love their look. They're just solid guys. They've got a good look, and I think they could be devastating. I'm always wondering. I mean, like they've got the young kid, right? He's what, 18, and they're putting him into like a prime spot, right in with Darby. He's one of the top guys. I know he's got some talent. I wonder if this is ruffling some feathers in the back. Guys going, really? You're throwing an 18-year-old in who just started, that giving him a good slot, and guys are here waiting to return. I've been here for a year. I don't know how that's going over.
I know Nick has a lot of support in AEW from a lot of the people, but he did a lot for a lot of people, so he kind of plays the favor card. We don't know how long that will last. I mean, everybody knew he was a prodigy coming in. We knew he was being signed 2 years before he turned 18, so I don't think they had a chance to get mad at the new guy because he was coming a while ago.
Well, I think wrestlers can get mad at anything for anything, right? So someone's going to be pissed. Even if they can say he's talented, he's got a good look, his style works, someone's going to be pissed, right? Because he's taken a spot and someone's been waiting. So anyways, I'm just curious to see what – I mean, again, there's no doubt he's got talent, and I can see that Tony Khan is all about putting something out there that's fresh and new, and he's all about exposing different styles and mixing guys up. And he's all about, doesn't matter, I just want to put a good show out there. I probably don't care if I piss off a bunch of guys in the back. The fans are excited, and we're put on a good show, and that's what we're here to do.
I was excited. Within this match, Justin, we got Prince Nana and Stinger.
No.
What did you think about it?
I mean, anytime Sting is involved in anything, it's brilliant. Even, especially with Prince Nana, it was the best. I love when Sting gets involved with the managers and people you wouldn't expect him to get involved in.
But Joker,
Yes.
I don't know. But I didn't like his look. I didn't like because he's kind of gone extreme. Like I know that's his part of his character, and he's kind of blending the two because he's just kind of doing this, but keeping the Stinger. I thought it was a bit much. Like I was like the face and
it's a throwback to the TNA days,
right? I didn't watch him back then.
The Joker, no.
He killed the Joker back in TNA.
No, I gotta disagree, guys, man. Like we're talking about like wrestlers acting. Sting as Joker, he should have never have attempted it in the first place. Just horrible. He doesn't have chops. Come on, guys. We're talking about pulling off one of the most iconic villain characters in comic book history. No wrestler has the chops to even attempt that. It's laughable. I'm going to play Breezy's character right now, and it was fucking stupid.
I will fight you to the death on this one. My favorite DC character is the Joker. Other than that, it's real side characters. I'm a big nerd when it comes to this. And we've had the Joker played in wrestling multiple times. Breezy, how about Finn Balor when he was the Joker in Ireland?
But he wasn't dressed as that.
They definitely ran that. Now, this one got me because I'm giggling. He's not even doing the Joker. He's doing Beetlejuice. And I'm feeling it. I don't care. It's showtime. I loved it. And then when he goes, Nana, come back. Na. And, I was done. I was done. Stinger with personality gets me in my heart. I want to see personality. I want him to play and be silly.
Is it true or not?
At a point in time, we got to have a discussion about that Joker movie because I am thoroughly upset about that Joker movie. I don't think this is the time or the place. We will discuss in future.
They're making a sequel too.
Movie review pod starting soon.
And Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Oh my God, I'm just shaking my head. Like, please don't even somebody call it a death threat to wherever they're filming and get this thing stopped ASAP.
Hey, people in the comments, leave a channel name that you'd like a movie channel, like I don't know, like stuff outside of wrestling, movie type. Leave some channel name suggestions because that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah. As long as we all do a watch along of Suburban Commando, I don't care. I'm in. Entertainment was what that segment was. Then we get more entertainment. the AEW World Champion, MJF, and Adam Cole, baby. Breezy, talk to me. Cut
Beautiful.
the lights. The devil has arrived.
Perfect mix of comedy and then seriousness. I mean, the skits going into it, getting over the kangaroo kick. I mean, this shit's hilarious. And then
Matt's face.
you go right from there to, okay, by the way, we have a world title main event match. And then they get into the seriousness of it. I thought it was executed perfectly. I just want to circle back to the backstage vignette, though. TK being on camera. What?
That was actually
In character.
With his sunglasses on.
Yeah, it was the Impact Wrestling TK, the spicy TK.
And then when he went outside the door, MJF said, he's gonna regret that in 2024. Then Tony opens the door and said, "What did you say?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was perfect. That was hilarious.
I
And
wonder if he actually gets mad like that with talents like that.
Oh, he's got to tease it. It's got to be a tease. I think I got to be honest. If TK goes into character, Breezy, if TK becomes a character, the internet world is memeing the shit out of his cocaine use. They're memeing the shit out of his facial expressions, the hugging.
they're not ready.
Not be something that could get the people pissed off.
Do you guys remember when Tony Khan got mad at the Elite, or what's the Elite, or someone that he said like F the Elite or something?
That didn't happen.
It was something that he came out and he got really, really mad. It was before. It was like 2021.
There was fentanyl in his coke. Leave him alone.
There's fentanyl on his coke. None of us should be having this conversation.
Yes.
Oh, is there coke jokes about TK? Is that because his eyes, he doesn't like blink? Is that
He does look like a sketchy cokehead. Like, let's be honest.
You've been down to Hamilton. You've seen it.
Have you seen the way he hugs his talent at press conferences?
Yeah.
He's a mark.
No, forget the press conference. When he's doing his post-show speeches, what?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say when he's doing his post-show speeches, like when we went to Rochester, we found out just how much he loves FTR.
He loves FTR.
He loves himself.
He loves FTR.
But all in
Did we
all,
ever discuss the Adam Cole hugs? When he does the backstab thing?
Yeah. Who's turning on who, boys?
Who brought it up last time that said it should probably be Cole? Because I agree with that sentiment now.
it has to be Adam Cole because I said it pods ago, the idea of the kingdom returning. And if he took the kingdom with the title, it makes for really good entertainment for the next 6 months to a year. Adam Cole at the helm of the company. I still like the idea of a babyface MJF for just a little bit because there's something here I've never seen. Like Stone Cold was a F the authority. Fuck the authority. There you go, Tank. But it's our scumbag. He's going to be a dickhead. He's going to be a prick, but it's a good guy. This hasn't been done like this.
Like The Rock would do. The Rock could insult. The Rock would go off. He would still insult the crowd and love that people went nuts.
But it's so different than The Rock. There's something different here. It's when you say he's a generational talent, I really think what we're seeing right now is what he's capable of. He's getting crowds to pop and chant over kangaroo kicks, body slams, and double clotheslines. Think about this. The crowds are going nuts for stupid shit he's just giving. That's
a Jericho thing. Jericho could get in. Remember, he's like the list. He got the list over. He got the scarf over. Jericho's the king of that. So I think a lot of these things are starting to wear off on the younger guys. Right? Because if you could sell anything, so I like he's got a bit of a Jericho. He's got a bit of Ric Flair. He's got, because again, Flair, even when Flair was a face, he was cocky, right? He was still saying his taglines, and people were into it. So people are appreciating the cockiness. We can still have that be that, and you can even throw it an insult to the crowd, a minor one, and they'd still get it. It's almost like he gives that compliment sandwich up to the cities. He kind of like, wait, was that an insult, or was that like almost being playful?
I wonder if it can transition into like hockey chirping, like the way the boys go at each other, but as soon as the gloves are off, they're chill, right?
Yeah.
And he might be poking at the crowd, shitting on their sports teams, coming at where they live and their demographic. Like he can play with those things, and he walks on the line, but stays being their favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he can still work as a heel in ring, and depending on who he faces to make it make sense, I see us getting some good stuff out of him.
Do you guys think? I've seen a lot of people say that Kyle O'Reilly might do something.
He's not ready.
Well, he could still, because he wouldn't be clear till next year, but he could still appear.
There's no need if you've got Roddy, Mike Bennett, and Taven. And honestly, if they want to separate Hardy's for just a little bit, I wouldn't be mad, because I like Jeff alone right now, and I'd like maybe bring Matt Hardy into the kingdom. The originals are back. I don't know.
Was Matt Hardy
a lot of pieces to play? He was in the original kingdom, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't Adam Cole in the Bullet Club? Would that even mesh with?
No, because he turned on them, right?
Hmm.
The only way I would want him being back in the good graces is if he goes to another team, takes the Young Bucks, and what team is that, Breezy? Young Bucks, Adam Cole?
Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, baby.
Let's get it.
Kevin Steen.
Is that what they call themselves?
So good together. Yeah. Go back and watch some PWG Mount Rushmore. Man, was Kevin Steen on his groove.
Oh man, I'll make you suck, Adam Cole's. That whole freaking hilarious. I held my tongue for you, Connor, just so you're aware. But yeah, Mount Rushmore and PWG 2 was.
See, and you got to look at. I wish they would open up, like, Tony, go make a deal with Super Dragon and just get the history on some type of stream. Those bolas, Breezy, those bolas. So now we're going to take a Drummond break with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. Drummond, tell me everything you loved about this.
I mean, it was perfect wrestle crap art. Like, it was art. I mean, everything from the fake blood being thrown on in the background, backstage, to the Amsterdam Lights, to Karen Jarrett dressed like Jessica Biel after our many Jessica Biel references. Leatherface, literally Leatherface. Ethan Page, which Ethan Page and something like that was probably like a dream for that guy, because he loves that kind of stuff. The chainsaw, the title that Jeff Jarrett won, like, it was perfect. I watched it 3 times.
All right, it's my
Jesus.
turn.
That's 3 times too many.
It's my turn. That was fucking stupid.
Can we make that the title of the episode?
It was. What
do you say, Boss Man?
And we were texting during it, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? You're doing most of the travel stuff on picture-in-picture. You have 3-on-1s that didn't make sense. It should have been the heel on the face. And then you have Satman in coveralls. I don't know how they made enough fabric to put a coverall on him. And then Leatherface coming out to the ring. I'm like, get that RoboCop bullshit off my screen.
It felt
better.
It felt very WCW like.
Yeah.
And not good WCW either.
Vince
Like
Russo.
Vince
That was
Russo,
Vince Russo.
WCW.
You mean the
Ah!
Yekai?
Now,
At least we know how much a steaming pile of shit is worth, and that price tag is $100,000.
And that money went right to the Fallen.
made
That's-
100,000.
There's one, positive to take away from that.
That's
Yeah,
the
oh my
thing
God.
is Warner Brothers were very happy with what happened with this. They were happy with Shark Week. They're going to continue to pull that content. That's going to make them money. We're going to get more crap out of it, but we still get good matches. So it's like, at least we have something for everyone, because that segment, that was for Drummond.
I do want to point out, we were talking about this before we started recording, but I was at Dynamite. While me and my friend was in line, we saw Mark Quinn go into the arena. He's been injured for a while, but we've seen him. It was him and what's his name?
I don't know.
Griff Garrison.
Who the F is Griff Garrison?
Him and Sanjay Dutt, we seen them taking him into the arena. Then I said Mark Quinn, and then I guess he got really agitated with that because he didn't want anyone to know that was him. I guess, but it's kind of not hard to spot him out because it's Mark Quinn. So maybe he's gearing up for a return pretty soon, and I really hope so because I like Private Party. Their first match, on TV against the Young Bucks, were really, really good. So
Yes.
So where's the other guy from Private Party? Is that what you're talking about?
Mark Quinn, yes.
yeah,
So he's been injured?
he's been injured for a while.
So what happened to him? I just saw he was gone. Did he?
I know he had some kind of surgery. I don't know what it was for, but
That's one team that hasn't had any luck for injury, because as soon as they get a spot, one of them goes down.
So them and Top Flight, they trade back and forth.
yeah.
You know what? Just put them
That's what I
together,
thought.
and whoever's healthy gets the tag.
There you go.
That wouldn't be a
Block
bad
party.
idea.
I'm going to take this next spot. It's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus our hometown girl, the Bunny. Don't care. It's Cherry Bomb. Been watching her forever. I was so happy to see her back.
I was too.
At one point, I felt like her character wasn't really coming together on the show. It did a lot better with Rosemary around in Impact, but I didn't realize how much I missed her until she was gone. She puts on that type of element of a match, and she's so hard hitting. I would like to see them let her get a good run. I don't expect her to take a title, but get some build, let her go hard, because that girl can hit, and they're playing her to take these professional styled match bumps where she takes the L's. I would like to see her get a bit of a go.
Mm-hmm. Put up Penelope Ford.
Yeah.
Like, where is she? Because they were like a decent tag team for a while.
She was at the match. She was on the side of the ring.
Was she?
Yeah.
I think they should use these girls a little more. Like, I thought they're pretty good.
I know
Well,
Penelope's.
Bunny's been out for a while. Penelope can only do what Penelope can.
I don't think it's because of an injury. Well, kind of. If anyone doesn't know. Does anyone know why she's out?
Mm-hmm.
Who, Bunny?
No, Penelope.
She's pregnant, isn't she?
Well, she had a miscarriage.
Oh,
Whoa!
I didn't hear that either.
Well, they've talked about it, but hopefully she's back pretty soon because her and Bunny's.
I heard it was Joey Janela's. So then we go on to the acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowen.
I wasn't ready for that.
Out the House of Black. Is this the first time we've seen the Black on Dynamite in a while? Yeah.
Yeah. No, they haven't been on Dynamite in a while.
And they tore apart Billy's boots. Oh, what are they doing here? Are they just going to bring Billy back for that one match, a 3-on-3? That could fit in Chicago. That would look good.
Yeah, it's looking like we're not going to get what Matt's been wanting for a couple weeks now, and that Billy Gunn send off at Wembley, because it seems like they're building towards All Out. I would have liked to see it at Wembley, but what are you going to fit on the card? There's no room.
Well, we got
You know
two
what?
pay-per-views to
Especially it
choose.
being on a Sunday, they gotta watch because even when they did Forbidden Door, like we talked about it before, like on a Sunday nights, people got to go to work and school the next day, and like the emotional peak was already set by the time they did the Osprey thing, and then they went late until the friggin' 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and this All In is gonna be another Sunday. So I think they
Here's the
should just be
difference though.
careful with how deep they stack the deck on number of matches.
Here's the difference though is that the All In card is starting at 5 local time, so they might have a little bit of extra time.
That's a good point.
Because they're actually starting earlier local time there.
Yeah, they have an 11 o'clock curfew, I believe, in the United Kingdom.
Interesting. And also, I'm gonna have to watch Final Hour now because they put that match on there. Now I can't miss that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's a good spot. We all have to watch it.
Are we going to get a surprise battle royal? They always battle royals for things.
I would love them to do a 30-man battle royal and use localized talent. Get Cara Noir in there. Get what's Paige's brother, RKJ. Get Grado. Oh my God! If he could get Grado and he could get what was the song he used to come out to?
Like a Prayer.
Like a Prayer. If he could get Like a Prayer, that entire Wembley crowd will know exactly what they need to do.
I think there probably will be a battle royal on the 0 hour, because at the first All In they did a battle royal, right? They did what was it called, the over the budget battle royal?
Yeah.
Over the budget?
Yeah, that was the original.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Jordan, got to bring back the reverse battle royal from TNA.
Oh God.
You know, Tony makes money off of this Wembley show. Speaking of money, we go to the Bucks. The Young Bucks versus the Guns. Talk to me, Breezy.
I mean, even if the Guns lose, which we knew, they're facing the Bucks. The Bucks are going into this trilogy match for the titles with FTR. So, okay, the Guns are not going to go over. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to get over. Because Guns up, boys. The Guns can't do anything wrong right now. They are so fucking entertaining. If you gave me the Guns every week on Dynamite, on Rampage, on Collision, I still don't have enough Guns. I love this tag team. I love everything about them. I just want them to get the 50 Cent Many Men track back. TK, please give it back to them. But, man, this match was awesome. This had your comedy. This had your action. This had everything that I needed for a Guns Bucks match. It was fantastic. And I love that they were in the main event slot because they deserve it.
Yep. I think they definitely earned from sitting in the front row during COVID, cheering for people as a mark, to main eventing the Dynamite against the Bucks. At first we weren't sure. Billy's got sons, yay. But then it looks good. They're looking good. They're heels. They're fun. The crowd loves it. But then we get Juice and Jay White come running in. And then we get a real nice little teaser. Oh my God, when Dax got low, I'm thinking it's happening. But we're saving it for Wembley. All in all, what did you think, Tank, of the Dynamite episode?
Okay, you know what? I'll be honest. Since we started doing this podcast, I feel like doing this podcast is changing the way I'm actually watching the show. Because before I would just kind of phase in and out a little bit, maybe smoke a little bit, play a little bit of a video game, whatever, blah, 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 and still just kind of let it kind of like wash over me. And now that we're like discussing it, I'm looking a little more in depth. And the first thing that I realized, or realization or whatever. I don't know how much I actually care about the in ring, which is like something like I never really like thought of before. I can totally like almost like, well, that's not necessarily true because good matches are always gonna get me. But yeah, I don't. I'm finding myself always just going like, yeah, that was a good match. That match was fine. And then the next
But then
match
you're
happens, and
watching the
it's like, yeah,
side
that was a good
segments.
match. It was fine. But overall, I'm still like, I love it. I'm still enjoying it. I stopped watching WWE when this AEW started, and I don't regret it. And I don't see myself turning back anytime soon. I enjoy the shit out of myself when I watch it.
WWE's been pretty good, a lot better than it used to be. So
Do you know what? It's been easy to watch, and I've been shitting on the Fed for a while. And I'm watching SmackDown every week. SmackDown is solid start to finish every show. Maybe there's a match you don't care, but by majority you're happy by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
And
the only reason I
Raw,
watch now. Like
Raw
I start watching
was
again.
good this week. Raw had me. But I mean, you put it in Montreal, of course. Of course. How about that pop for Kevin Owens?
Does anybody
My
know what
God.
he said? Anybody got the translation from French?
I got the translation during Becky and Trish.
What happened there? I mean, really, like, what happened?
They said, "We don't fucking care." They were chanting it in French the whole time.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Whoa.
Maybe that should have been in Toronto.
And well, now we know why they were pulled from SummerSlam.
Whoa.
I
You know
thought that
what,
was
man?
supposed to be in Toronto.
Montreal and Toronto, they're polars, man. When you come to town, you don't know what to expect. When you got to enjoy these Canadian big markets.
I do appreciate that there's been between the two organizations, they've been putting a lot of shows in Canada the last year, which I love. And I don't know why they do. And I know it was travel restrictions, but maybe it's more they're trying to compete now. So they're both trying to cover the territories and not expose anything.
No, we were starved during COVID, and
Yeah.
now it's a hotbed again. Like it's always been a hotbed, but we had those like 3 years where we were just starved for live pro wrestling. Even the indies, everything's
up in fire right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, do you find, besides us being like, wrestling nerds, do you find, are we back at a level that wrestling is the hottest has been in a long time
Yes.
from all levels
Yes.
and all interests?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think the most ever, or is this on par to like the 90s part, like where like it was?
I don't think we can get to the level that Hogan had in the 80s. I don't think it's possible to sell a character like that to the children because they use the Mickey Mouse and McDonald's formula where they marketed so hard on children, they had a different entity to look up to. The Hulkamania during the 80s, early 90s, that was on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
There was
The
pop
Attitude
culture.
Era.
It was the rock and wrestling connection and the MTV generation and all
Yes.
of that. That's why. Financially, right now, the wrestling business has never been stronger. They're making more money than even in the Attitude Era.
We're
just with
looking at
ticket gates and everything.
and with global awareness and all of
And
these
schools,
other countries
right?
being involved, like
Because when we were younger, you would hear of like a school here and there or small schools, but it seems like, I guess maybe with the internet and the amount of like YouTube and the videos and the content that's available, there seems like so many schools are popping up, which means again there's more people getting involved with it. So there's more talented pool even for the indies, which you guys would know more about that than I would. But I was thinking about that just from all the levels. I have never heard so much about indie wrestling until recently. I know with you guys, but even seeing more content online, like it just seems like there's a really good talent that's coming up. There's just more of a pool to pull from these days.
so. I called this Breezy. Back me up. We're gonna go back 7, 8 years, 7.
Yeah.
And we worked in a call center.
2016.
There you go. 2016. I walked up to Breezy and I walked up to Zach and I said to them that I think this is the greatest time in wrestling history because we hit streamers. So Progress was putting on amazing shows. You had Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, everybody in there walked away bigger. Then you go over to New Japan, you've got the peak Bullet Club stuff, and then you've got your WWE doing its thing, but then you could go down anywhere in Toronto, from Super Kicked on a Friday night to a Smash Wrestling to a Destiny show. They were all guaranteeing you one amazing ride. And you could stream it at home, anything. So you could reach what you want to watch. You didn't have to sit there and turn on your Monday Night Raw at 8 o'clock and be super happy that you made it in time because there's no other way, there's no PVR. You can do anything you want in wrestling. I can watch some strong style. I can watch some lucha. There's never been a time where it was so easy to access. And now we hit a boom, an energy surge where AEW's doing well, Impact's doing well, WWE's doing well, New Japan's getting their feet back. They struggled during COVID, but they're kicking now. And everybody's putting out their top product and bringing more and more. So, I mean, we're at an overabundance where we can pick and choose what we want.
You know what? I think one of the strengths of that is because they've developed the big companies have developed their the bench to pull from. Right, you've got NXT that guys are pulling up from, so you already have the minor leagues, like right there, ready to go. They're already getting trained at an early spot, and same as AEW. I think they're almost using was it Impact or what do they? Is it the own? Is it Impact? Not Impact.
ROH, Ring of Honor.
Yeah, ROH. I almost feel they're kind of using ROH as that same thing. Like, it's on the same level as like an NXT, and then they can pull these guys with the talent and see how they mesh, take these guys down, kind of move guys around for the product. But I think that's important because they've got a bench and they've always got and the product doesn't suffer because if someone goes down, you always have someone who's a really good talent waiting to jump in the spot. So I think in terms of keeping the content going, the excitement going, storylines going, level up, that's contributed to their minor leagues that they've created.
Now, I would want to add that NXT wasn't a developmental after the fact because, 90% of their stars were already grown. Johnny Gargano ran the indies for years and years and years and was a top star any show he went to. Adam Cole, everybody that they got to pick from, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, none of the NXT guys were really coming up through their system. They were already up. And I think NXT and AEW really went and it was the perfect time to do so.
Yeah,
because of that many schools.
That was more Evolve at the time. They had Riddle and they had Walter. Yep. They had Austin Theory. And then they would feed them to NXT and then so on and so forth. But you had so many running around. Even Alpha One at the time was going hot. ICW. Everything.
Was going around for a while.
So I'm going to run Rampage as fast as possible. I don't really want to hit it without talking about a couple, but we're going to start with Phoenix Commander. Awesome match. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. It is what you think it's going to be. My son loved it. He couldn't sit still the entire match.
Hey, they got an this is awesome chant.
Yes, they did. They did.
I talked about on Twitter that a lot of people doesn't watch Rampage, but I recommend watching that match. Being there live for that match, the crowd, normally, here lately, people has been staying for Rampage. After Dynamite, everyone's staying, and no one left. After Dynamite, no one left, and that match was probably the best match that entire night. It beat a lot of stuff. That match was, you didn't know when it was going to end because both guys were kicking out of everything and all these big moves. It could be one of the best Rampage matches of all time.
The crowd was really into it, which was nice. I love when the crowd's into it for those matches and they're up for it.
Being there live, there's a lot of people standing up for that entire match.
So as we move on, we also had Aussie Open versus All Ego Ethan Page and Brother Zay. The real spot of this was Kyle Fletcher screaming at the camera, "You'll never hit a kangaroo kick in your lives."
This was for the titles too, wasn't it? They defended the belts.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it really didn't matter. We knew they weren't going to take it. Then we go for a Vincent, Dutch, and Grayson. They're coming to AEW. Thank God. It's a good idea. We got the
Do you like
Hardys.
Grayson really fast? Do you like Grayson with them? Because
Yeah.
that seems weird to me.
So ROH did it. They made them split. They had their matches with Dark Order. If you see it, it actually looks good.
Okay.
Now that he's white painting and he's got the white trunks, it looks more authentic. Now that the three of them are matching, we watched Stu come up. I don't care. Put him on TV. The guy has like accolades like George St. Pierre based on martial arts. The guy is really...
I love him. I just always see him and Uno together. Like I can't see them split. And now that they are, it feels weird to see him with another group. It's like, no, they're married and now they're divorced and sleeping with other people.
Yeah.
And it just feels weird.
My thing was, if Uno's on TV, why isn't Stu? Stu's on TV. That's all I want. I want him to pay for his life. I want him to have a job, you know?
Really quick, I think they did him dirty on being the Elite too, when they always had Anna Jay choking him out.
Yeah.
I was really not a fan of.
Oh, I love
the whole build for combat. He's supposed to be the badass, and they're making this girl punk him out every episode.
Oh, it was fun. Anna.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about him, so it worked. He was getting over.
That's the thing. BTE actually put that whole entire crew on another level.
But Stu, I think, took a bump in reputation and went down. It was shortly after where he was fired, and it seemed like that came out of nowhere for no reason.
Yeah,
he wanted to wrestle more, so he opted to leave.
Oh, there we go.
I remember one time he said that he would rather eliminate 100 dark matches just for 1 minute on TV. He said that one time, which
that makes sense. Dark was supposed to be their developmental. Dark and Elevation, they were trying to use as a developmental tool to get people.
But now it's with Ring of Honor. Like Ring of Honor is kind of like Dark and kind of isn't, because there is stories. I want to see the Righteousness versus House of Black one of these days.
I didn't even think about that.
Those would be great promos.
Yeah.
Like they could do I don't know, maybe they could do a cinematic match, because we haven't seen House of Black in a cinematic match, have we, in AEW? I don't feel like we have. Or if there has been one, I don't remember.
So following that, we go Sammy Guevara beating John Cruz. You get a women's tag. So we jump out of Rampage just as fast as we jumped in. And we're now looking at Collision, still following the fight for the Fallen. We are all up here in the north thinking about Hawaii. We know something about fires, so we definitely are thinking. So we start off with Urai's not here, so I'll say it. Conquistador Phil. Go ahead, Breezy.
The Golden Vampire. This was amazing. I mean, what are you gonna shit on here for all the CM Punk haters? And I'm sorry I missed that rant last week because I wasn't here to defend my boy Phil. But this was excellent. It's a good way to build towards him and Joe. It's a good way for him to get the upper hand on Joe after Joe just choked him out the previous week, pulling him into the audience in the 6-man tag. So, I mean, I thought Punk got one over on him on all the marks, and this was great. I loved it.
I want to say,
now let's talk about the actual thing that happened. Phil comes out looking really weird in a tight suit. We know it's him from the beginning. And Joe, the absolute beast that he is, lets Conquistador Phil throw him into a GTH or go to sleep that looked like poop. He dropped him like a sack of potatoes. My God, Phil, pick up some weights. You
gotta save the good one for pay-per-view, Dusty.
He's saving the finisher for pay-per-view.
A lot of people that says that, like, they probably couldn't pick up Samoa Joe themselves because Samoa Joe's a big boy. He's not like when Punk and Joe when he gets killed in ROH. Like I could only imagine picking up him and trying to do a GTS. Like that's.
And in Punk's defense, he was wearing a mask, which he's not really used to wearing a mask, and he was not wearing his regular wrestling gear. So let's cut him a little bit of a break here.
I would love to cut him a little bit of a break, but I'm not going to.
He still executed the move.
To Breezy's point real fast, remember when he wasn't working anywhere and he did that run-in in that indie and he was hated?
Yes,
that GTS was probably the worst GTS I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so there
that
might
was
be
pretty
something
bad as
to
well.
Having the covering that's messing him up.
Exactly. It's
really
the peripherals
one
when
more
it's
thing
coming
real
down
fast.
and you're looking through the eye holes.
Take off the shitty finish. Why are you going to take out Joe that easy?
Because he had to get one off him
that
because
easy?
Joe had taken him out the last 2 weeks. You can't just have Joe take.
But let's actually think about the actual idea. Joe has walked through everybody. Joe's beat everybody. He's a destructor. He walks right into a GTS.
He was blindsided. He wasn't expecting that this jobber was actually CM Punk.
Kind of like
he didn't do anything to him.
Can I say it? I'm going to say it. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah!
That's the title of the episode.
Connor better say it by the end of this episode.
Yes, he will.
Also, the Golden Vampire should have been Ace Steel.
Yeah, that if that was. But Samoa Joe got a fast one on Punk. When that 6-man tag, he put him in the Coquille clutch.
Yeah.
So
he caught him as he was resting back there and caught him in a move. He didn't damn near win a match or whatever this thing was.
Well, it wouldn't be the exact same, but Joe didn't know it was because when Joe was coming out, he was going onto the ring and then Punk or whoever you want to call him pushed Joe off the ring.
Yeah, he blindsided him. Exactly. So you still keep Joe strong because Joe wasn't prepared for who he was actually supposed to be fighting. And that's how you get one up on Joe and still give something back to CM Punk.
Oh. Do you know what didn't
Haters gonna hate, Connor. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm always having to ride for CM Punk, but you're the biggest CM Punk fan of this whole group. Come on, ride for our boy.
So I've done that a lot on this podcast before this show. There's a lot of good moments you could probably find on our past episodes, but
yeah, we'd have to go to the past to see
everyone's really critical of Punk right now. Like everything he does, like he could trip him. He could go to he could be in the hotel and trip, and then people would blow up about it. Like it's just every little thing that but wrestling fans are critical about a lot of stuff. So.
Well, we don't agree here. You know what? We can agree on something, that this next match was fucking awesome.
Guns up? Can I get a guns up, Dusty?
Oh, hell yes. I don't even want to give you the guns. I want to put my plumage to the sky and welcome Dalton Castle to the show. My God, he is so bloody good in the ring, and Jay and him hit it perfectly. I loved this match so much. And Tank, how did you feel?
Man, you know what? I'm having trouble remembering the match. Like I may have been zoned out and maybe smoking something and playing a couple video games while that
There was a peacock versus a gunslinger. Justin, what do you got for it?
I mean, Dalton Castle never disappoints me, to be honest. He's one of my favorites, and I wish he wasn't just on ROH all the time, but I kind of get it. But I mean, Dalton Castle always delivers, but yeah.
I'm gonna voice Urai, even though he's not here. He made a really heavy point on why aren't you using your guys under contract? There's plenty of guys under contract that aren't being used, Spears, etc. I responded with Dalton Castle could be on this show now. That was enough of a look And I think whatever they got, let's say 500K viewed, that's enough people that are going to get behind him because he hit it perfectly. He gave you all the panache. He gave you great in ring. I love Dalton, and I'll tell you, I love Jay. This whole thing is good. I've been shitting on Jay since he was just a Kiwi weirdo.
You know who's I mean, Dalton's theme, his entrance would be perfect for Wembley. They would love that character.
Yes.
Like UK, they love that flamboyant kind of Austin Powers, kind of that, and it's such a good big over the top entrance that would go over well. So
you said it, over the top.
Yeah,
he's in the overpriced battle royal. Put him in.
Totally, and they'll let him do his entrance. I love the little peacock boys. The best is I love the feeding out of his hand. It's so good. It's so funny.
They could do like a casino battle. Well, normally they call them the casino battle royal now, right? In AEW, isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, but this is the over the budget battle royal. We're calling it.
It also helps when you're in there with Switchblade. I mean, Jay White can't have a bad match even if he tried, boys.
I mean, everything he does good is against top guys. And I think being a Ring of Honor champion, Dalton he's been a top guy. So, I mean, shining a diamond isn't hard, right?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Remember you guys were talking about names? This could be the Big Ben Battle Royal. Right?
Oh.
The Royal Battle Royal.
Ooh.
I bet there's gonna be a song titled Battle Royal to fit it.
The King's Crown Battle Royal.
So as we still are with Breezy, show them the shirt. We got Jay White in the ring. The Bullet Club Gold come out. They've got the stand-up cardboard cutout Jay White. They're being great. Then they immediately hit an awesome promo building. Hilarity. Give Juice everything. And then they immediately go to a trios match. Like, that was a whole 3-piece segment of Bullet Club Gold. I think Tony knows we're listening to Bullet Club Gold and we're liking it. Because that's a lot of time these guys got.
There's internet rumors that Tony is actually listening to this podcast. And
Dude, we just totally ragged on the cocaine. Like, we know a guy.
It's okay, I'm a supplier. We're good.
Oh!
The Bang Bang Gang can't miss, man. I mean, just the way you said, you transition from the singles match to the promo with Tony Schiavone to the trios. I mean, Jay White still bringing out the fucking cardboard cutout. That's gold, boys. It's gold.
Yo, what do they call the cutout? They call it like Switchblade or Card Blade or something. Card Blade?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
They just sell those, actually. Like, I would buy one of those if they put that on sale.
Just to put in the back for the.
Breezy would buy one, but I'd be worried what he does to it. Ah!
Oh, God.
How do you know I don't have one already?
I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah.
I guess I'll bring it over to the House of Black because they sent a video message to Billy Gunn. Rest in peace. Put the boots in the trash compactor. Oof. Then we go over to Tony Schiavone with absolute Ricky Starks. He's a manager of Big Bill, it looks like.
Oh,
and I'm all right with it. More Big Bill time.
Feels like Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
Yeah. Yeah, I can handle it. I mean, I don't compare any of them because I like Big Bill.
Well, the kayfabe is he's suspended from being a wrestler, right, for another 2 weeks. So this is how you still get Ricky on the show. It's brilliant. I think it's working.
And it's bringing somebody else up.
Yeah.
I mean, let him be the mic piece and they actually connect. And now he's got a big hitter. I mean, that's how he did well with Hobbs.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Why is he saying what is it? I missed this part. What's his spiel? Why is he with Big Bill? I know he's going to be a manager and he was going to be man to somebody, but why is it Big Bill?
He did.
Well, that was a guy available for sure. But I mean, is there a relationship? No.
Right. Like that's what I mean. Like what?
I know he
He
did
could have
say
picked any big guy. Brian Cage. He could have picked any big guy.
Yeah, I think they were running out of the standby wrestlers for that episode.
Yeah. Hey, Big Bill, you're huge. Get in
Is the
there.
firm over? Like, is the firm done?
Oh yeah.
pretty much.
So
And I want to touch on that. The way the firm ended, the way the Pinnacle ended. This is why I like the way JAS ended. Because they gave us closure. They let everybody go off, cut them from the entire stream of the group. These two were just like, oh, it's not working.
same as Inner Circle. They gave some closure to Inner Circle as well.
Yeah.
It was good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We go on to a women's match, and I actually enjoyed it. I watched it. I'm back on the Willow talk. I just think she is very entertaining to watch. I don't know if it's the collision effect, but it's making Diamante look good again. I still stand by the idea that I want Diamante and Kira Hogan as the team, and having Mercedes Martinez lead them kind of gives Mercedes a more badass. What do you think of that, Breeze?
Well, I think going back to what Tank was saying earlier, that TK is definitely watching this pod because he's taken Matt's idea into consideration of just tag teaming all these girls to get them on TV. I mean, let's get them some airtime. And yeah, I think it was a tag match. It got 4 women into a TV spot, get them more familiar with the audience, and can't go wrong.
Man. It's coming. The tag titles are coming soon. They're on their way, man.
Urai just signed off chat.
Yo,
I do like the
low key, honest, hard AF entrance songs. That Diamante entrance song with the shotgun,
Nazareth.
badass.
It is badass. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying,
goes.
though. She's real, like she's shoot girlfriend with Kira Hogan. They're a couple, so put them together. They've hinted at it with Jade back in the day, and I like Kira Hogan in her Impact days. I like Diamante. Who was she rolling with, Breezy?
Who?
Diamante. She was a leader with somebody. She was like with 2 dudes. Was it
She's
LAX?
in LAX for a bit.
Thank you. And she had that street gangster look. Mercedes Martinez has always been a gangster. Throw Kira in there, make her a little more hood. Let them roll. A badass crew of chicks messing everybody up. I'd be happy with it. 3 girls that aren't getting what they should. Full-time character with a click. I don't know.
I do like on Collision how they're like, this is like a weekly thing that they're continuing. Like, this has been going on for at least a month now, maybe close to a month. I like how they like it's a continuing story every week. It's not like how
we called it out that the women's isn't working. Then we got nonstop matches. Then we started getting stories from other girls that don't get stories. Tony, big fan. Tickets next time you're in town, please.
main events too. Been getting a lot of main event time.
Yes. We go on to another woman. She may be the only woman. When she cuts a promo, I don't look away. And it's not because she's so darn good looking. It's because I want to hear what she's got to say. Toni Storm can cut a promo now. This character, this Marilyn Monroe, cheeky, badass, slap your tits off. I love her right now. I want her to.
The whole I don't know who you are, but the girl was rude to me last week was marvelous.
Yes. I'm in. Keep her on TV and look at her. She hasn't had a match in a couple. I don't think she's had a match in a bit. Maybe she was involved in the tag this week.
Speaking of women who can do promos, I think Ruby is very underrated in the promo department. She is extremely good.
I don't know if this character can cut a promo. Like, I know she was really good at the twisting the knife, heart, I love everybody, but I'm a badass, like those type of promos. She was solid. I don't really know what she can do with this heel character with the Outcasts on the mic, so I would be willing to hear it.
Yeah.
She has some good promos with Britt Baker. There's someone else too. I know Britt Baker was one that really stood out.
Mm-hmm.
She had some good ones on the All Access show in the Thai feud.
Ty Mello. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? That was actually really well done. I like the Thai stuff. I did actually enjoy this next match because I actually like Kevin Koo. Indie Darling kicking ass. What's his tag partner? On the
Dominic
Indies?
something?
Say it again.
Dominic Guerrera, something like
Yes,
that?
yes. They're badass. They are badass. Seeing him come in and get completely mauled by Powerhouse, I wanted to see that. Drummond,
What?
did you enjoy seeing Powerhouse get some slapping meats?
Yeah, I mean, I always enjoy big men slapping me, and yeah, I think it's Dominic Guarini specifically. I think that's the
That's
guy's name,
it.
Guarini.
That's it.
But yeah, I mean, I always enjoy a good squash match.
So you pray to me now, Hobbs says. The book of Hobbs is rolling, and let's see where they go with it because I don't think anyone in AEW doesn't want Hobbs to succeed. I mean, Wardlow had the push, but there was still some hesitancy. I think it's the whole stigma of you're just that big guy. We've seen it so many times. You're too big, too good looking. You shouldn't be there. Where Hobbs, you can feel his story. I don't think there's a sway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, to your
I think
point
him
about
and
the
Miro at
Wardlow,
All Out is going to be a big Sirloin and Sons of Bitches match, so I'm into it. Who goes over?
Sirloin.
Who goes over? You're building them both. I mean, what do we do here? Double count out? Double DQ?
I say whoever wins, they still got to continue the feud. They can't just end it like that.
Okay. Start really pissing each other off and getting into it. The Book of Hobbs versus Redeemer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That smells
guys,
good.
I don't know if you guys seen, but CJ Perry, Alana was backstage at Dynamite, but it was in Nashville and she lives in Nashville. So, but you guys think
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, keep her away from the Redeemer.
I don't want to see her.
You don't want no cup storylines.
But I'm really looking forward to that match, Miro and Hobbs. It's about time we get Miro in an actual feud. So I'm looking forward to that match.
I hope Hobbs goes over. Just saying.
I'm hopeful all these guys that aren't going to be on Wembley get a lot more time than they normally would on a 14 match pay-per-view that TK normally rolls out. Maybe they keep all out, 7-8 matches, and these guys get 15 minutes. I'm all for that.
That would be good.
It's time for the main event. We got Darby versus Christian Cage. I'm so confused at what is a championship match and what isn't. It's so confusing, but it's fun.
Yeah,
well, go ahead, Connor.
I was gonna say he put the title on the line, as what he said, but he's not the champion. But
right, so it's only going to be when Luchasaurus actually fights, right? Because he is the champion. So
realistically, yes. But
so it's just the gimmick champion.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. Christian is carrying it, but yeah, it seems that Darby and Luchasaurus is the match that's for the actual hardware at the All Out pay-per-view. But Christian carrying around this belt and Lucha not doing nothing about it is actually pretty fun.
I think it should be a ladder match.
Luchasaurus needs to get away from that gimmick.
See, we talked about him unmasking with the whole joke scenario about Edge showing up and Edge walks over, takes off the mask, says, "Is stupid. You're rolling with me," and then he walks out like the brute. It's good stuff. But
you know what I would want to see? Hair versus mask, Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus takes the L.
Drummond, do you hear that?
Yeah.
How's that match sound to you?
I mean, that sounds heartbreaking either way, and I don't want to have to choose. But I mean, if you watch them come to the ring, like there is little things like when Christian is holding the title, Luchasaurus is looking at them the entire time. They're small things. They're planting seeds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unmasking Luchasaurus. I mean, eventually it's going to happen. And that guy kind of has a look.
Yeah,
He's the Big
does have
Brother,
a look.
he has a master's degree. So I mean, he could play off of that.
And he didn't win in Big Brother, so don't act
And-
like he was the star of that season.
Well, no, he's an idiot.
It would kind of
James, never go for the girl when you're on Big Brother. It doesn't get you the win.
Especially one that's with a twin sister.
What are you gonna say, Matt?
I was going to say, with the title change or with Luchasaurus, if he realizes and then turns face, I think he would actually compliment Darby with Luchasaurus as is kind of the big guy behind. Like, it's almost like kind of cool because they're both kind of alternative. I don't know. It could be interesting because it's I don't know, just because they're both kind of alternative looking. You could play on the fire, they could play, with the darkness, and then throw in Sting in the mix. And if you change Luchasaurus, almost make it like one half his mask is almost like the white skull, so he's kind of looks similar to with Sting and Darby.
I feel like Justin would order that mask on the day it gets released. Half Sting, half Darby.
More figures.
Dinosaur mask.
Yeah.
Just make more figures. More figures. Just give me more Luchasaurus figures.
I just had an idea of, I feel like it's going to happen that Luchasaurus is going to turn on Christian eventually because he's been doing, like, basically he's the champion, but he's not really the champion. So what if at All Out, Christian gets really mad because Luchasaurus is about to lose the tie? Do you guys remember the MJF and like Wardlow versus CM Punk, and then MJF basically costed Wardlow the match? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing, kind of, but Luchasaurus gets mad and then chokeslams Christian, and then Darby wins the match, and Luchasaurus is still hammering on Christian, and then Edge makes the save.
Can't do that to me.
I don't know.
Edge can't make the save. Only the Sexton.
Sexton out of Castle.
That's it.
Which is no one really knows what's going on with Edge's contract situation. So
Breezy
does.
I try, boys. I try. I've got sources, but
He's the insider.
as long as your source is not Dave Meltzer, it's credible.
it's not.
It's Jackie Redmond. It's kind of funny seeing Jackie Redmond on the TV, eh?
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
It's really weird. It's really weird.
Like, from playing with the Blue Jays to being on Raw every week. I mean, it took a little while for us to get used to, what's her name?
Renee?
Miss Moxley.
Renee?
Yeah.
Renee Paquette.
Yeah. Like, it was
But
fun
didn't
seeing
Jackie
that show,
Redmond do a
Jimmy
similar show
Cordera.
back in the day too?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all on Aftermath. WWE
That's
likes to
close.
take everybody from that Aftermath show and give them a job.
Yeah, tell that to Arda or Cal.
What was the name of that ref?
Nug the knob.
Who was the ref that was on the show? The bald
Jimmy
guy.
Jimmy
Cordera.
Corderas.
The
Jimmy
legend.
Cordera.
We Connor, so up here it was Sportsnet, yeah?
And the score.
And the score. And then right after Raw, they would have a little segment and it would be the panel. And it was usually either Paquette or Cordera and Arda or Cal, and they would just talk wrestling amongst like we do here.
Yeah.
But everybody got a job. Well, I mean, Jimmy Cordera's doesn't have the job, but Arda or Cal, he absolutely should have got hired, if not just for his shoe collection.
He was hired, though. He just worked in Stanford.
Is
Yeah.
that fact?
Yeah.
Yes, he
Arda got a
worked.
job?
Yeah.
Yes. He was Kyle
Good for you,
Edwards.
Arda.
Kyle Edwards.
That's his name?
That was his name.
Arda.
That's
Cal.
right.
If it ain't Jim Van Horn or James Duthie, I don't want to know. Look it up, America. Look it up.
And
As
the
we
O-Dog.
wrap up our week in review of AEW on AEZ. Pretty good week. Like I said at the beginning, it's going to feel like it's build, match, 2 pay-per-views. We're going to get a lot of pushing things in, getting their time. So I expect the same this week. I mean, they got time to give Drummond his Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So all in all, I think the week was good. The Phoenix and Commander match definitely holds value to me. As we wrap up, the next time we will be recording is after Wembley. So we'll have a lot to talk about. I'm excited. I know you guys are. It was great to see all of you again. Drummond, before we go, I do want to give your shirt a pop on the Books and Looks, a local tag team. They just lost their belts at Smash, and he's rocking the indie wear.
No.
It's nice.
Give a shout out to the new champs, Dusty.
Tay-Day Tay!
Tay-Day Tay!
Before we go, let me tell you about Tay-Day Tay. Tay-Day Tay is one of the most talented, entertaining tag teams. Wow, that was an alliteration. In wrestling. They fought the London Riots at that same hall you went to, Tank, at Frank Horner. And it was a ladder match, and it was part of a tournament. And they started off the tournament. And I will say it's indie level, it was the best match I ever witnessed. They kicked the living shit out of each other the entire match. And every single time they're in the ring, they're mean, they hit hard, and I don't understand why they're not picked up. Tabernac Day Team. Look them up if you don't know. If you see them on your card in your local area, get to that indie.
I always knew about them. I never heard the Tay, like it said, like in that respect.
Yes,
But
Tabernac
been
Day
around
Team.
for years.
Monsieur Saint-Jacques. Such good stuff.
Yeah.
Before we close the show, there's a question I wanted to ask. Well, as you are Canadians, who's one Canadian independent wrestler that you would like to have on here for an interview? If we could have an interview with one independent wrestler, who would you choose?
You said an indie wrestler?
From Canada.
Yeah, from Canada, because it fits the, Canada.
Kevin Bennett. He just had a 1,500-day championship reign that ended. Shout out Kevin Bennett.
Shout out Kevin Bennett. In Canada, definitely. He is Buffalo Boy, though. Give me a Canadian.
And he was on an episode of AEW Dark way back in the day during the COVID era. So, I mean, I feel like that's a guy that gets left out of the Buffalo Boys thing, and he deserves a lot more. He's super talented. He produces and writes his own music. He's absolutely phenomenal. Shout out Kevin Bennett.
He also produced Red Death, Danny Garcia's theme that you hear every week. That's a Kevin Bennett feature.
Yes.
Hey, who's the Canadian kid that was on TNA for a little bit? I think he was doing they were doing a Tough Enough kind of contest. He has big eyes. He was doing a crazy gimmick. He actually fought Orange, that show I was telling you guys about. I think it was Mike something.
Oh, no, Mike. This is who he took the title from Kevin.
Yeah, Psycho
Mike Rollins. That's exactly what I would have said. The only problem, he is talented. He is entertaining. He just did a match with Crawley, which I've seen at Smash Wrestling at the Rec Room. And it was on Evil Uno's doing this mystery wrestling on Patreon, I believe it is. And him and Nyla Rose do this, put a bunch of wrestlers together and make it entertaining, and they commentate it. All the clips I've seen off TikTok, it sounds fun. But Psycho Mike Rawlings, Tank, that is a guy I would totally like to have a convo with.
I don't have any serious. I don't have a serious answer, but I'll say Will Simonson. And we'll say Steve Brown, the fat guy MJF didn't want to wrestle on Collision
in Hamilton. That's right. Matt, do you got one?
Iron Mike Sharp, if possible.
That's the winner.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Iron Mark.
I
I'm
think
gonna take
he,
this one.
I think he'd actually have some killer stories.
Yes.
Iron Mike Sharp.
Rest in peace, Iron Mike Sharp.
Oh, he's not
Oh,
in
he's
a
dead.
wall.
He's not dead. Is he?
Is he dead?
I didn't know he died either. That's so much more funny.
Oh,
Wait,
That's
is he really
hilarious.
dead?
I'm gonna take it. And the one guy that should be signed above everyone we've talked about. From Calgary, Alberta, out of Toronto, Mr. Punch Kick Chop Tarek. Tariq. Tarek. The dude is awesome. He's got a couple gimmicks going with Destiny. I can see him getting into Impact through that connection. But every time we've seen him, he's insane. He just had a match this weekend against Jake something. And from what I heard from the boys, it was a hard-hitting affair. We saw him against Calvin Tankman, and
Oh my
that was
God.
crazy.
oh my
What are we
God.
talking about hard-hitting? They hit each other so hard. And every time Tarek's in the ring, it's not his gimmick, it's his style, his swagger, it's his move set. He has charisma and he doesn't show it on in ring, but there's just something there. Every time Tarek's in the ring, punch, kick, chop, done.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff and shout out to Northern Crown, but they absolutely stole the show of that first ever Northern Crown show. That match was unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm going to take all those names into consideration. After this taping of this in the group chat, put those people again in the group chat because for the people like when this airs, I'm working on getting a few Canadian independent wrestlers on here for an interview. That's something I would like to do. So if anyone in the comments when this is going to go live, feel free to drop in the comments if you guys have any Canadian independent wrestlers you guys would like to see on here. That's something that I'm definitely going to look into, getting a couple Canadian independent wrestlers for a couple interviews on here.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, boys.
All right, guys.
Until next time, AEZ, we out.
Peace.